god, we're live. I can't do this anymore. I'm just kidding. It was a bad joke. Let me get Facebook Live going.
Okay, got the stream notification going.
Oh yeah, I don't have my chat up. I love how I feel so behind.
The restream chat? Oh,
yeah,
it finally just turned on for me.
Sorry if you can hear the background.
Hey, it's me, the background.
That's not what I meant. That's like sub background.
Did you do the... Okay, let me just repost it to the... Did you post the Facebook Live thing yet? Okay, there it is.
Maximo, how are you?
Oh shit. I mean... Ah.
Maximo.
Hey, Maximo.
Okay, so today I'm gonna work on Yinue. That rhymed. God, I love that. I love when that happens. It's like the greatest feeling in the world.
Share to a page. Twitch.tv/logo post.
Okay, so this is Yinue. We all know who she is, but she needs some work. I'm going to rework her basically. I wanted to work on her hairstyle because it's been like really important to me that we finalize it. I've been struggling with her for kind of a while now. I don't know if you guys know, but oh, Dante, are you looking at the other like chat for Facebook Live?
Right now? For Facebook Live?
Facebook Live, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it up. Okay, here we go.
This is not linked to Restream?
I don't know, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But basically, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that somebody was watching it if I wasn't watching it. Yeah, okay, so this is Yinue. Let me write it up at the top for those of you who don't know her. She's a... Oh my god, I can't even spell my own character's name. I am a terrible person.
Is this just Yinue or lighting?
Just Yinue for now. If I choose to do lighting, I'll do it later. Anyway, that is from a song online that you can look up if you wanted. I think it's called Yinue Clark Kent Cosmos. It's a song that I really like, but I looked up Yinue and I found out that it actually means like vibrations or voice or sound, which I thought was really awesome. But yeah, this is Yinue, and so when I first envisioned her like in my mind, I kind of imagined her with like perfect straight short hair.
It actually means music.
Yeah, it's like vibrations are music and sound can or cannot be music. It really just depends. But like when I made her, I didn't know, like, because I'm only used to doing Aries hair, and if we go and look at Aerie, you can see she has kind of a different hairstyle. It doesn't really look that different right now because I'm still trying to get out of the habit of making all of my characters look the same, so forgive me if there are definitely some like nuances that are similar. But as you can see with Aerie, she has like the side bang going on, and it's a little bit frayed. It's not like perfect or anything, and she kind of has wavy hair. So like when I went over to make Yinue for the first time and I was trying to like give her her own, you know, short hairstyle, I was really struggling with making the bangs because I didn't know how to make like a perfect, I don't think it's called a fringe. I think a fringe is when it's messy. So like I didn't know how to make a perfectly cut bang until the other day when I was like working on my sim character and I put a wig on her and I was like, oh my god, this is so totally Yinue. And so I wanted to completely just rework Yinue at least one last time, so now at least I can say it's even closer than what it was before. But yeah, we're going to kind of work on that. Let's get started, I guess. Nobody gets it. Okay, moving on. So yeah, we're just gonna delete that.
In Discord?
In Discord or like everything?
No, you're on stream. You're just logging on Discord.
Okay, maybe I should just leave Discord because it's like gonna be a problem, I bet.
Not on stream.
Okay, yeah, so let's get into it. Basically, we're going to kind of make the space that I drew here on the right, and we're going to try to make it look a little bit more like the one on the left, because there are some qualities about this that I think actually do fit Yunui perfectly. I don't think it's the whole picture itself, but just a few like qualities on here. Or like features. For example, we're gonna go down and fix her lip. One of the things that I want to fix about this is like if we compare the two to each other, you'll notice that like for example, Yunui's top lip is very I have to do this like with a bright color or it's like hard to see. Yunui's top lip is very like it has a really big indent like in the middle of it and kind of wide. If we look at mine is like there's not much of an indent and it's very tall towards the like middle of the mouth. And I think already if I fix just that and make it look like the one on the left, it's gonna look that much better. We're gonna go in and fix that real quick. We're gonna bring her lip down a bit. I also like how thin the lips are on the left. On the right, they look very thick and like more like Aries lips. And I'm not really okay with that because it's not Yunui. So we're just gonna bring this middle line up so that the top lip becomes thinner and the bottom lip can stay thick if I want it to. I don't really care. Not too worried about that one just yet. And we're gonna bring this down a lot. Right here, and I'm sorry if you can hear people in the background. Just an FYI.
Well, I lagged out, I guess.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. I lagged out.
Okay, so let's just look and compare the two side by side already. Like, I know it's not much to you guys probably, but to me there's already like a complete difference between the lips. And that's really important when you're trying to create a character. You really want to pay attention to the little like nuances and like little curves and how much fat or like muscle is on certain parts of the body. And so that was something like the reason that Yunui didn't come out the first time that I tried to work on her is because I still like this is all coming from just my imagination, and it's the first time that I've really worked on her face. So it's hard to say exactly what I had in mind for her other than just a few like key characteristics like perfect short hair and gold eyes. But now that we kind of have something, like I accidentally found a reference that I was like, wow, that really looks like Yunui, I can now like use that to kind of help me push this character in the right direction. And the other thing that I want to do is probably
Are you gonna use that as a straight up reference for her?
Not everything, just the outline of her face. So we're also going to add like basically this. We're gonna try to copy like the outer parts of her face, the shading of her skin. That's what I mean, the shading and the lighting of her skin. So you'll notice like in my reference, her like cheeks, the lightness of her cheeks are going like all the way out, but on this one the brightest bright of her cheek is only like right about here, and then the shading starts like right here and comes in, which is really important. So the reason that that's important is because you really want people to know like where the face starts and where it ends. If you don't like choose a boundary of like, how do I say this? Like if we try to take the white on the cheek and we bring it all the way out and we don't add any shading on the outer edge, what that shading in the back is saying is that there's like, it's starting to turn away and it's starting to go underneath all of the hair and stuff like that. If you don't add that, basically it makes them look like they have really fat cheeks. Like they have a really fat wide face. That's not what you want. Like naturally everybody's face goes like we have a roundness to our face that like goes in, right? Our faces aren't completely flat. So I need to fix that basically because I kind of screwed that up. Hey Nahal!
What's up, Brandon?
The other thing that I want to do is I actually want to bring her eyes up a lot. So right now her eyes are very kind of like Aries, very almondy, and what I mean by that is like if we were, oh, my paint program is freezing. Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna save before I lose my progress. Give me 1 second. Let's see, comic, characters, Yanue. Where are you, Yanue? Yanue! I can't find it! I'm like starting to get frustrated. Body and face. Okay, so this is going to be Yanue face and hair study. And we're going to say this is a PSD. And now we'll keep working on it. Okay, so what I mean by the eyes is, oops. If my camera is in the way, let me know, because sometimes it can like be in the way when I'm drawing. But what I mean by the eyes is everybody has different types of eyes. So like, for example, me, myself, like my eyes, I may not have this right, but like to me, my eyes are like this basically. They're very almondy and kind of like very, like, what's the word, like slit looking. They don't have like a lot of shape to them. Basically it's just kind of like this. It looks kind of like an almond. Some people have very like wide eyes that come out like this. Some people have eyes that are like the top comes like isn't too high, but the bottom is like super low. It just depends, and it also depends on what expression your character is making and stuff. So right now with Yanue, I kind of made her eyes pretty like standard almondy looking, but I actually want to take the back of the eye and push it up a bit. So we're going to take this whole layer, we're going to copy it, and we're going to pull it to the side, and we're going to compare and contrast like all the differences that are going to be made here. I'm going to go in on her eyes and push them up. So we're going to add less eyeshadow or eyelashes, whatever the hell that is. We're going to get rid of all that and push it up.
Get them fakies away.
What?
Get all the fakies away.
The fakies? Are you calling them fakies?
Yes.
Fakies? You mean falsies?
Same thing.
This is like the other day, Zill said something about like he saw one of my collars lying on the floor and he was like,
that's not even okay.
He's like, what is this BMSing shit? And I was like, BMSing? What is that? You mean BDSM? That fucking cracked me up. I never let it live it down. Okay, we're gonna push her fakies up.
I'm out of here.
This is so ridiculous.
I'm out of here.
Pushing those fakies up.
Okay, you can stop calling
We're also going to push the inside of her eye up. See, because right now her eyes, like we moved the black part or like the eyeliner or whatever you want to call it, we moved that up, but we also need to take the white in the eye and push it up as well, because it would just be weird if we didn't do that. So we're just going to push the white up a little bit, as much as we also push the bottom up. So if I push the bottom up an inch, the white needs to go up an inch as well, but we didn't really push it up that far, so it's only going to be like right about here. And everything is almost like pretty right. I am going to push the inner corner in a little bit. I do want that to feel like her features are more sharp than Aries. So Aries, like I said, I gave her very soft and like just standard eyes or whatever, but with Yanue, I want Yanue to feel like she's a very like, how would you describe that, like a sharp character or like edgy character, and so like her eyes are gonna, like her features are gonna be a little bit more like
sharper.
Yeah,
she has sharp features.
I keep hearing Sharker and I'm like, she's a killer. I mean, go get him.
She's a land shark. her spirit animal is a fan shark. It's not even a thing.
That could be a thing.
No, it is.
That could be a thing.
That's
We're adding it
that's
to
a
the
thing.
lore.
Like there's hammerhead sharks and there's fan head sharks.
All for Yanue.
It's gonna be her house sigil, the fan head shark.
The other thing that I want to do is, because I lowered her lip, okay, so let's go back and compare. So look at how like thick her lip is right here in the center. What I did was I went and like took this and I pushed it down, right? So we'll compare that to this one, right? Oops. To this one. So this one has, you know what, I'll just make it a big picture so you can see the difference. So this was 1, this is 2, and this is 3 where I've changed the eyes, but we're gonna look at these and compare them. So basically, one thing that I want to talk about is like when you're working on faces and you have a, like there's a golden ratio to everything, and I won't ever stop saying this, but like basically,
Hashtag golden ratio.
yeah, hashtag, we should really honestly put that as like a thing. You know what, let's write that down. Hashtag golden ratio. Hashtag golden ratio. So the next time we want people to support, we're gonna tell them, type in chat, hashtag golden ratio. Anyways, okay, so basically there's this thing called the golden ratio when you're working on a character or even a body type. Or even like when you're doing photography, there's a golden ratio like rule of thumb. Like, how do I explain this? I don't know how to explain it. I'm like at a loss for words. Basically, like everything that you take a picture of, what people find pleasant has a type of rule to it. So like humans, when we find someone physically attractive, it's because the structure of their face, or like the shape of their eyes and the tilt or slant of their eyes, all the different stuff, the way that their smile is even, has a ratio, like a fundamental like law that makes it look good, basically. I don't know how to like simplify that and say it better. You would think the more I explain it, the easier it would get, but it doesn't. So basically, like, people who don't look good, quote unquote, it's because they're, for example, you see someone with like ears that are really big. Why don't we like that? Well, because your ears are supposed to follow a ratio where the bottom of your ear is supposed to be somewhat equal with the bottom of your nose, and the top of your ear is supposed to be somewhat equal with the ends of your eyebrows. And so people who have big ears, it's because it like goes outside of that ratio, basically. And so this is really important. And basically my point to this is, like, when we're looking at Yanue, we see her mouth and see how I pushed it down over in this one, right? But now, because I've pushed that down, there needs to also be a kind of sort of ratio